Another story altogether.
Derek, calm down, man. Calm down.
Went down the wrong way.
In this week's iReady podcast, sponsored by Benelin Cold and Flu Capsules.
That'll be a pod exclusive. A member dying on the fucking podcast. So as I said, with the 2 seconds, mate.
You've got a lot of editing today. It's not even my fault. It's hilarious.
Aye.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting cramp in my foot. Ow! Oh, sorry, mate. Oh, oh, yeah. Oh my God.
Between the two years, it's like the fucking old men podcast here.
Oh, it's serious fuck.
Cramp in your foot? I've never heard of that before.
Oh my God. It was my big toe. Cramp in my toe. I couldn't move it. Oh dear, right, that's it. Sorry, mate.
Holy fuck.
Fucking Bob Fleming and me were fucking safe. Oh, that was safe. Sorry. Where were we?
I don't know, you were kind of greeting. After the ball wouldn't fall in the box, ended up on the edge of the box, in the middle. What the fuck have I put here?
And the stadium erupts in red, white and blue. You've never seen anything like it.
Let's go.
Manchester, brace yourself. Rangers are coming!
Hi everyone, and welcome to the next episode of the iReady podcast. As ever, I'm your host Derek, and with me is my co-host Dave. How are you doing, Dave?
I'm very well, and Happy New Year, Derek.
Happy New Year to you too, and Happy New Year to everyone listening as well.
Yeah, and it seems as if we've been away for ages, Derek, and it's no compared to years gone by, but you know, it's been a few weeks since we've had a pod out, and there's been a hell of a lot has happened, so I'm sure that you're going to get into the ins and outs, but we've got a hell of a lot to talk about, I think, haven't we?
Absolutely, yeah. So I suppose, you know, we better just rattle on. We've obviously got 4 games to cover. I'm not going to cover the first 3 games in great depth, but obviously we've got the best one right at the end, and obviously the complete meltdown to talk about as well, haven't we?
Yes, can't wait.
So we'll just go rattle on, and we'll go down the tunnel and onto the pitch. I nearly fucked that up there.
Aye, back to the good old days.
Yes, so the first game we've got to cover was on Wednesday the 19th of December. It was away to Hibs, and it was a 0-each draw. We lined up McGregor, Tavernier, Goldson, Macaulay, Barisic, Jack, Koulibaly, Arfield, Grejda, Candeas, and Morelos. On the subs bench we had McCrory, Worrell, Halliday, McCrory, Flanagan, Middleton and Lafferty. Now, it's always going to be a difficult game playing against Hibs, isn't it? Because it's Hibs at the end of the day. But you know, they were on a bad run of form, but they had just beaten Celtic the game before, so it was quite a strange game going into. We didn't know what to expect, did we? No,
we do have a no bad record at Easter Road, Derek. I mean, it's been quite a successful stomping ground for us in recent seasons, so I was feeling pretty confident. Like you said, I knew it was going to be a hard game, but I just had a wee sneaky suspicion that we might have snuck it. Certainly thought we played well enough, right enough, but I'm sure you're going to get into that now.
Yeah, to be honest, I think a lot of us would have said, you know, we'll take a draw, and that's duly what we got, but we kind of came away from the game really disappointed because we'd done more than enough to win the game at the end of the day. First half, just a kind of brief summary before I go into a couple of points. It was really a decent game overall. It was a great game for the neutral so far in the first half. We allowed kind of Hibs to have possession in the first maybe 20-25 minutes. We allowed them to come at us, and then really from there it was just one-way traffic from us. We had a good few chances, couple cleared off the line, and the Hibs keeper making a couple of unbelievable saves, but once again we had no cutting edge. Just on the note of the keeper, the one who made all the saves, actually was the sub keeper, because the starting keeper came off injured, and sometimes I think that plays in a detriment to you if the keeper goes off injured, because
possibly,
because he's, that keeper's about to be like, right, well, this is my chance now, I better pull off all the saves so that I might get a chance at it. So certainly in the first half, Morelos, Jack and Arfield looking very lively. Tavernier and Koulibaly, however, very inconsistent. I think there was some absolutely brilliant cross balls from Tavernier, but there was some absolutely woeful ones as well.
Yep, no, that's pretty fair, aye.
Yep. In the third minute, Tavernier gave the ball away on the touchline, allowing the Hibs player to get the ball. He got forward and had a shot from 25 yards, but it was wide of the post. Fourth minute, the ball was well won by Morelos, gets the ball forward to Barisic, who drives forward, goes one way, shoots there from the other side of the box. It was a weak shot and it was easily collected by the keeper. Yep. 22nd minute, there was good work to win the ball back. Quick break with a long ball trundled up towards Koulibaly. The ball was on the deck. He had a shot from distance, but it was a poor effort nonetheless anyway. 27th minute was a lovely move, starting with Morelos to Arfield in the middle of the park, gets the ball forward, lovely pass through the back to Morelos, who gets in the box, cuts inside, hits a shot, forcing the keeper to make a good save and out for the corner. And I think by this point, this is when the sub-keeper had came on, so this is when...
That's right, yeah. Right.
29th minute, Ambrose, good old Effie, makes a mistake trying to clear the ball from the defence, falls to Morelos, who gets the ball on the edge of the box, hits a shot, and another great save by the keeper to put it out for the corner. The corner does come into the back post, and Macaulay was under pressure, gets his foot to it, but couldn't direct it goal bound, goes out for a bye kick. 31st minute, Barisic plays a great corner in from the right. Arfield gets his head to it, headed off the line from low down, comes back to one of our player, and there was a shot blocked out for the corner. So putting all the pressure on Hibs, and we really should have converted at least one of them. Yep. Mm-hmm. 33rd minute, quick break up the park from Hibs. Jack had a brilliant tackle to block the shot and ends up going out for a goal kick, so well done for Jack there defending. 44th minute, Morelos had some great play on the edge of the box, outmuscles the defender, cuts it back at the touchline to Grezda, who gets a shot off but deflected out for the corner. So that's kind of how the first half rounded out, and certainly it looked as if it was going to be one of these nights, but so far I wasn't in panic stations yet, were we?
No, as you say, Derek, I think maybe the first 15-20 minutes Hibs had most of the ball, but then after that it was just all Rangers constantly, and we looked really dangerous on the attack, and we looked pretty solid in defence, and at that point we just thought it was going to be just a matter of when we were going to score, but unfortunately it wasn't to turn out like that.
No. So at half time, Arfield came off, he had a slight niggle with his hamstring, and Ross McCrory came on. 52nd minute was a great passing move from one side to the other, ball played into the box. There's a nice touch by Koulibaly to knock it down to Tavernier in the box, who had a shot, but another great save by the keeper at his near post. 59th minute, there was a quick break by Hibs, found the Hibs player to get in front of Macaulay, however shot inside the box and it was wide of the bar. On the 60th minute, I think that was maybe kind of this is because of that previous chance there, but Macaulay came off and Worrell came on. I think if my memory serves me right, Macaulay was kind of flagging up. I think he had maybe pulled something.
No, he did die.
Yep. 66th minute, there was a lovely flick over the top of the defence by Morelos on the right hand side, comes into the box and hits a shot but shanks it wide. A minute later, some great play from left to right, Candeas and Tavernier linking well, with Candeas floating the ball into the right and a header by Morelos, but it was over the bar. 72nd minute, Morelos with some lovely play to nick the ball from Ambrose at the touchline, cuts back forward about 3 or 4 times and ending in a shot which was just by the far post. A great piece of skill from Morelos there to nick the ball in the first place, then kind of outfox him as well.
Yeah, I know. Yep. Unlucky with that one.
74th minute, lovely turn by Morelos in the middle of the park, runs with the ball, great pass to Candeas on the right, who then crosses the ball into the box to find Tavernier in the middle, who fluffs the shot. If there's one player who you want in the middle of the box in that situation, it wasn't Tavernier, it should have been somebody like Morelos. And I think I said on Twitter at the time, this is part of the flaw of the system we play, by having Morelos kind of dropping so far back, which he's great at, but then it leaves a big Morelos-shaped hole in the middle of the park up front. Where
to be fair, Derek, though, that was a chance that you would expect any even semi-professional player to even get. If he gets that on target, the slightest touch, it's a goal, and he just completely fluffed it. I don't know if he's took his eye off the ball or whatever, but it was a phenomenal chance to score, and I honestly couldn't believe it that he completely fluffed it in that position.
But I mean, I know he scored a lot of goals, but they're from penalties. But if you've got an attacker, a striker, or an attack-minded midfielder there, you're probably going to get a better chance there. Again,
the man that went off, Scott Arfield, would have been in that position, because that's the position that he does try to get into, Derek, isn't it? He tries to follow up. That's where he scores the vast majority of his goals are from, when he follows up. And you could have bet your mortgage on the fact if he'd have been on the park, it'd have been him in that position, and I would have, he'd definitely have scored it. So no, it was I put it down to just being a really, really poor miss, Derek, more than anything else.
81st minute, Morelos shot from outside of the box. Hibs defender moves his arm in the direction of the ball and hits off the top of his arm out for the corner. It was a clear call for a penalty, I think, there. 83rd minute, Grezda it off and Middleton came on, and that's how the game finished up. Neil Lennon, fair play to him, he did come out and say it was a great point for them, because really Rangers should have won it. He also admitted that one of his own players, Porteous, who I think was already on a yellow, was lucky to stay on the field, because he had an absolute shocking challenge in Koulibaly, which was right in front of the referee, and it wasn't, I think a foul was given, I think that was it.
Yeah, no, it was a shocker. Which is a shame, because he's a really good player, that young laddie, that Porteous. I was really quite impressed with him, but as you say, he should definitely have walked for that one without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah,
it evens itself out, so they say. But yeah,
another talking point later on.
So, again, I think, as I said, well, a lot of us would have been fairly happy going to Easter Road, especially on a Wednesday night, coming away with a draw. But given the fact that how much we pummeled them, it's as much of a one-sided game as you'll see, and, we came away with a draw. But worse things have happened, I suppose, haven't they? Yeah, no, they have. It was a good point away from home, considering that they had came off the back of a victory against Celtic. And, we really did play well, Derek, and just that absolutely shocking miss, the Tav, and we should really have won that 1-1-0, but it wasn't to be. No. So into the next game now, which was Sunday the 23rd of December, away to St Johnstone in the Premiership, and we won 2-1, and a very late 2-1 it was as well.
Oh, yep.
So we lined up McGregor, Tavernier, Goldson, Worrell, Barisic, Koulibaly, McCrory, Halliday, Grezda, Candeas and Morelos. On the subs bench we had Fotheringham, Wallace, Katic, Flanagan, Rossiter, Middleton and Lafferty. Now I know you put a tweet about this at the time, but just prior to the game BBC put up their team list for us, supposedly, and they had recently departed Ovie Ejaria in the starting lineup, as well as Jack, Arfield, Middleton and Katic.
Absolutely, and I've got no idea, Derek. I still don't know why that happened, what the thinking was. I've got absolutely no idea. I'm actually annoyed that I didn't screenshot it, because it quickly got taken down, and I really should have. But I was really, you really got to wonder where they get their information from. It's beggars belief.
That's BBC got a habit of that, dude. Of they publishing an article about Rangers and with inaccurate information, if not lies, and they quickly take it down, don't they?
I mean, there's a difference, Derek, between that and something else. It's very, very easy in this day and age to find out what the starting team is. Very, very easy, because the club are the first people to put the information out on Twitter, what the starting lineup is, so you could have it as a matter of seconds. So I've got no idea. I honestly don't.
It's not as if the BBC had the excuse of not being at Ibrox and the press never got the team sheet because they weren't there, because it was at bloody St Johnstone's ground, so they would have been handed out. So Unless somebody's had a wee paddy there and Rangers decided not to give the BBC reporter that, but fuck them. So really, it was a flat performance overall for the first half. No urgency whatsoever. Yeah. We had a decent amount of the ball. However, the usual away performance we've kind of came to expect, to be honest. No creativity going forward and a lot of crosses into the box going absolutely nowhere. There was one chance with Andy Halliday early on, I think it was, but it was only really a half chance at that. St Johnstone had a couple of chances as well, which they really should have buried. I think there was a header that he just jumped up and it was a clear, if he had got it on target, it was in the net, but he headed it over the bar. I think they had another chance as well. And they did go 1-0 up on the 44th minute, just before half time, where it was a long ball crossed in from the right, headed by the St Johnstone player into the back post area, which found another St Johnstone player who cuts it back and shoots it into the back of the net. Really poor defending, because there was plenty of opportunity in both, when the delivery and when it got knocked back over to cut it out. So
good finish, to be fair to the guy, but as you say, we really should have cleared it long before it went in.
Yeah, absolutely. So it needed certainly changes at half time, and that's what came. And on the 45th minute, Grezda came off and Middleton came on, and we did play better in the second half, absolutely. Not by much, mind you, but we certainly got the goals when it counted. On the 54th minute, it was a long ball lobbed into the box. It was a good takedown by Candeas, who has a shot, but it was over the bar. A minute later, Koulibaly came off and Lafferty came on, and I think really that changed the game for us, I think, didn't it? Yep. 65th minute, Morelos scored to make it 1-1. It was a lovely pass to Middleton on the left, got it to the edge of the box, played a fantastic cross into the middle of the box, which found the head of Morelos, and he headed it down into the back of net. Lovely goal and brilliant from Middleton as well.
Yep, great play.
Yep. 66th minute, the St Johnstone player had a drive and run from the left to the centre, and he had a shot just wide from about 20 yards. Another one of these issues where we were just allowing them to run and not closing them down and putting the challenge in. Yep. A minute later, there was good hold-up play from us, past to McCrory, who shoots it over the bar from 25 yards. Unlucky effort. 71st minute, St Johnstone allowed to pass the ball, ended in a shot from the right side, forcing McGregor into a good save. Again, should have closed them down, but right from that play, the ball ended up the other end of the park, with Candeas having a shot, saved by the keeper, and then back right out to him on the right hand side, cuts it back to Lafferty, who shoots, and it was cleared off the line by the keeper's hand. I think it was a great save as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was, aye.
81st minute, Lafferty had a volley into the bottom corner, but it was saved by the keeper. It's getting to the stage now that I don't know what Lafferty needs to do to score, because you've got the feeling it's the age-old thing where he scores one, then a barrel load's going to come, isn't it?
It's yes, at least he's still getting it into the positions, Derek. He's still getting there. It's just, as I say, it's a bit of a dry patch for him. I've actually had I was having a wee online discussion with someone on Twitter. We were talking about strikers and stuff like that, but actually, and a lot of folk might shoot me down, but I actually think that Lafferty's better as a lone striker. I think that Kyle Lafferty plays better if we're playing against a bigger team, Derek, when we're under more pressure and we need the one striker up front to hold the ball up. So I actually think that Morelos and Lafferty, I don't see them ever being like a strike partnership. Do you know what I mean? I think they're more suited. It's like one or the other. But he did come on and made a huge difference to us, like you said, Derek. So, but that's just my feeling in the whole matter.
Yeah. He did get another chance on the 85th minute. There was a corner in from the right. Lafferty gets a shot off and makes the keeper save at near post and put it out for another corner. Yeah. And at this point, we're thinking, we're going to end up the game on another draw. It was, we're really kind of fearing the worst, especially after the last game there. But as ever, Morelos pops up on the 88th minute. Tavernier takes the ball down on the right hand side with one touch, looks up, an amazing cross into the box, and an absolute screaming volley by Morelos into the back of net. Absolutely apoplectic, weren't we?
Yeah, that was brilliant.
When we scored, some of our fans spilled onto trackside, and the St Johnstone Twitter had a go at us, stating the pitch invasion by their fans was completely uncalled for. I would really hardly call it a pitch invasion, wouldn't you?
No, it was really just onto the side track, wasn't it? And just onto the back of the pitch. There was no actual, it's not as if all the fans piled right onto the pitch and were running up to the away fans, like a certain other set of fans did at a game that we were playing at not too long ago. So, it was a wee bit of overreaction there, Derek, wasn't it?
Yeah, and what's even more bizarre is Morelos ended up getting booked for that. He never went to the fans. The fans came onto the pitch, and he didn't leave the field of play, yet he got booked for it.
Yep.
It doesn't, a beggar's belief once again.
No, it doesn't, Derek. I mean, you would expect something like that now. It's no as if it's no the norm, especially when it comes to Morelos, isn't it? It's the slightest chance that a referee's got these days to book him for something or anything, more than likely he's going to do it. So it's pretty harsh stuff. And I know a lot of people say that he brings a lot of it on and stuff like that, but he is, constantly the slightest wee thing, you just know that he's going to get booked.
Unless it's John Beaton.
Again, we'll get into that.
So Gerrard, at his post-match press conference, kind of came out and said, quite rightly, we shouldn't have to work that hard to win at places like this, with all due respect. So basically meaning Rangers have got a lot better quality than what St Johnstone can put out there. Yeah. And weirdly, a failed footballer, failed MP, failed pundit Michael Stewart had a go at Gerrard after it, saying that saying that he lacked respect and all that. I'm sorry, Michael, but any time that Rangers or Celtic or a big team lose to a smaller team, the pundits come out and say, well, they've got 10 times the budget, so they should be easily winning games like this. A bit of hypocrisy once again from Michael Stewart. What an absolute knobend that guy is.
Oh, it's again though, Derek, when has Michael Stewart shown Rangers any respect on any level?
Yeah.
Never. Not once. Michael Stewart at the moment, and it's certainly not a Celtic anti-Rangers bias. I just think he genuinely just doesn't like Rangers, and he'll try and have a go, possibly with for his early footballing career. I don't know. But he's like, the slightest chance that he gets to have a wee dig, he'll have a wee dig. So he's got a bloody cheek when it comes to respecting other teams.
Okay, so just biomechanics, isn't it? He lost all credibility when he came out with that. So glad to get the win there. It was a much needed win, and it set us up for the next game, which was Wednesday the 26th of December at home to Hibs, where we drew 1 each.
Aye.
Yeah.
So a bit of a disaster.
We lined up McGregor, Tavernier, Goldson, Worrell, Halliday, Jack, McCrory, Koulibaly, Candeas, Middleton and Morelos. On the subs bench we had Fotheringham, Wallace, Katic, Flanagan, Rossiter, Lafferty and Dallas. Now, before the game, the Rangers fans liaison officer did point out the fact that there was going to be metal walls put up for the away end by the police for the fixture. Now, I kind of initially thought, well, has the game really got that volatile between Rangers and Hibs? But the good chance, somebody pointed out on Twitter, there's a good chance it was basically a test run for the Old Firm game that was to come there.
Yep.
The game, as it stood, was a scrappy first 24 minutes from both teams. Neither team really getting a hold of the ball or having any chances. We were playing fairly well with some decent passing at times, but it was largely broken up by the Hibs defence, and our passing was really poor. A lot of it was overhit, and really neither keeper had anything to do until we scored on the 24th minute with, once again, the main man Morelos.
Yep.
The defender headed it goal bound, and then the other defender tried to clear it with his head, but it was only cleared to Candeas, who headed it into the path of the on-running Morelos, who was wise to it, kept running, took the ball with one touch and a shot past the keeper. So bit of dodgy defending, but it was great vision by Candeas and Morelos in the first place to latch onto that and score the goal.
Yeah, no, it was a well taken goal, and as you say, great vision by Candeas as well. I'm really pleased with that one.
Yep. In the 29th minute, there was a space opened up on the right-hand side for the Hibs attacker, takes the ball into the box and shoots with a leg save from McGregor, not cleared by the defence, and it ended up with Hibs having another close-range overhead kick, which is again saved by McGregor, so keeping us in it once again.
Yeah.
And the last chance I've got here was on the 33rd minute. It was a quick break with Middleton, holds it up in the box and tried to square it, but ended up passing to the defender. Halliday slips in and tries to get the ball. He goes down in the box. It was kind of a half claim for a penalty, but it wasn't given. There wasn't much claims for it, so we'll let that go there. So, kind of fairly happy with that, going into the half-time 1-0. Not a great game overall for the neutral.
No.
Not a great game for us either. Not a lot of chances, but, you know, we'll take it as it is there. So, half-time and 46th minute, Hibs worked the ball into the box with a throw-in on the left, ending in a shot in the box just over the bar. A minute later, there's a great drive and run down the left by Halliday. Lovely pass to Middleton, who crosses the ball into the box but gathered by the keeper. 51st minute, Worrell with a half chance in the box, saved by the keeper at the near post. 59th minute, there was a good drive and run from Jack with the ball into the box, cuts it back to Candias, who plays a great cross into the box from the right and headed just over the bar from Koulibaly. 60th minute, you could see he was toiling for about 5 minutes before, because I think he had picked up a knock, a dead leg, I think. Goldson had to come off and Katic came on. 67th minute, it was a stinging volley on the edge of the box from Jack, which was tipped over the bar from the keeper. Really unlucky that was there.
Yeah.
And then the next chance wasn't until the 82nd minute. It was lovely quick break forward, starting with Morelos, ended up with Middleton on the left-hand side of the box. Probably a poor first touch, but he got a shot off, and it was another good save by the keeper. We again tried to round out the game and just try to close it down, and I always think that's the wrong thing to do, especially when there's only one goal in it, because then you change the dynamic of the game. On the 84th minute, Middleton and Koulibaly came off, Lafferty and Rossiter came on, so probably I think Lafferty dropped back a wee bit and maybe filled that Koulibaly role, but you know, it changed the dynamic, I felt, and Hibs got the goal 2 minutes later. Lapse in concentration. It was a long cross in from the left. Hibs attacker rose up above the defender and headed it into the back of the net. Lapse of concentration, poor defending once again.
Yeah, as you said, Derek, possibly, and again, managers got to take some of the blame here as well. You know, changing the shape of the team at that stage. You know, arguably he could be saying that he was going to just try and get the second goal and, you know, kill the game off, but unfortunately it didn't work. It changed the shape of the team, as you say, and it just maybe gave Hibs that wee sort of extra man in midfield, didn't it, for them to start putting a wee bit extra pressure on, and unluckily for us, it paid off for them, didn't it?
Absolutely, and you know, we've always asked questions about his subs, especially late on in the game, and you know, it's another one of these things. It's a learning curve for him, but you know, the team have still got to be wise for that. You know, the manager can change something, but the team have still got to close their players down, not have that lapse in concentration, and once too often that's happened. And once again, silly points were thrown away from a winning position. And again, it's as we've said, it's not so much scored in the first goal, it's scored in the second goal, which is the problem. We scored 2 goals in that game. The game's over because Hibs offered really nothing, especially in the second half. So, you know, it's about that, and then seeing the game out.
Yep.
We nearly scored in the last one of the last minutes of the game in the 89th minute. It was a long range blistering shot from Lafferty, and again it was saved by the keeper and out for the corner. So once again, what does Lafferty need to do? But that's how it rounded out. Now, a lot of really unhappy Rangers fans at the result. You can certainly see why. But as I've said time and time again, you know, it's going to be swings and roundabouts, as we've seen, which we'll get into the next game. But there's an element of our fan base which really, really does my box in, and I don't care if I come across as arrogant on Twitter when it comes to this. And apologies, Dave, because I lost ourselves a Twitter follower over this one. But some absolute complete bunker nut blamed Stuart Robertson for this defeat. Yes, our managing director. The claim was that because of Robertson's inactions over referees, considering we've issued a statement which we got a fucking 5 charges for it, the players have no belief in that the referees will protect them, and due to that, they have no belief in themselves. Okay. Yeah. I mean,
I'm still trying to figure that one out, actually.
So because we are dropping points because Stuart Robertson isn't having a go at referees, so that gives the players no belief in referees, which then gives no belief in themselves. Fucking hell.
That actually sounds like a bit of a sort of Celtic mindset, that actually,
yeah.
Derek.
Exactly. I mean, As I said, I don't care if I come across as arrogant. When you come away with utter shite like that, and it was tweet again, and that's why I got into a conversation with him. I said, what is our managing director got to do with us not closing down in the last couple of minutes of a game and dropping points on the field? I mean, it's just beggars belief, some people's reactions. As I said in the last pod, there's a bipolar reaction when it comes to Rangers. 1 minute we're amazing, the next minute we're absolute shit and we're never winning the league. We've got to find this happy medium, because it's not doing the players any good.
A bit like the team's performances.
Well, aye.
No, that's a bit of a bizarre statement to make there, Derek. I'm still trying to really see how that would affect players and stuff like that. A bit strange, but each to their own. I mean, as far as I seen it, Derek, it was poor substitutions and poor defending that really, was the fact that we lost the goal, nothing else. So, a bit strange. But as you say, social media brings out the worst in people, and a lot of people just type before they actually think, what it is they're actually saying and whatnot. So I don't take too much notice to the instant reactions after a defeat. It's hard to take, but it's hard to take. Not even a defeat, but drop points. It's hard to take through all of us. But social media makes it so much better for you to instantly let your feelings be known. So
I actually thought the guy was called Bill McMurdo for a minute with his supporting weird fucking factions and all that, and wanting the current board out and wanting to support Mike Ashley. But so, as I said, with the bipolar nature of some of our fans, we were, going into this Old Firm game guaranteed to be 9 points down going into the break, because, we were 3 points behind Celtic going into the Old Firm game. The Celtic had a game in hand anyway, so they were instantly winning that, and obviously we're going to lose the Old Firm game, so it'd be 9 points down. So, but it wasn't to be, was it, Dave?
Thankfully not, Derek. I will be perfectly honest with you, mate. I was not confident going into this game, and thankfully it shows you how much I know about football, because as you're about to get into, it was a complete different change of attitude, a complete different change in the way the players played, and it was just absolutely fucking joyful.
Yep, absolutely. So it was Saturday the 29th of December. It was at home against Celtic, and we won 1-0. So we lined up McGregor, Tavernier, Goldson, Worrell, Halliday, Jack, McCrory, Arfield, Candace, Kent and Morelos. On the subs bench we had Fotheringham, Wallace, Katic, Lafferty, Koulibaly, Flanagan and Middleton. So, quite obviously, we were having a minute's silence as well for the Ibrox disaster. Mm-hmm. For the pay tribute to the 66 who lost their lives and that was cut short by the referee because of coughs and shouting. Obviously we know where that came from, but obviously I think as well there was shouts from the Rangers fans to basically get the Celtic fans to quieten up, and to be honest, they're equally as bad as the Celtic fans for coughing and shouting. Just shout and boo after the minute silence. Don't join in with them.
Exactly, yep.
So the Celtic fans, quite strangely, were not happy as well, which is nothing new there. They were not happy about a banner that was flown about Big Jock knowing. Really, their pitiful claim was about, it was shocking that on the day that we remember the dead at the Ibrox disaster, we forget that Steen helped the injured on that day. Yeah, that is true, but that's called being human. And I loved what somebody said on Twitter, countered on that by saying, aye, but Jimmy Savile also helped some kids' dreams come true, and look how that turned out as well.
Oh dear. Right, okay.
So, really, I think first couple of minutes, Celtic, I wouldn't even say they were the better team, they were competent enough, and I'm basically the whole game, bar maybe 10 minutes when they had an offside goal, we were amazed.
I actually think that you're being really positive on them there, Derek, because looking back, and I've watched the game back sort of twice now, and although you said that they still didn't look comfortable at all, Celtic, and we were still pressing them right for minute one, which is what we've been crying out for, and it was absolutely joyous to see And in hindsight now, at the time, we've got our hearts in our mouths, haven't we? And we're just, we're saying to ourselves, oh, we've started off really well. I just had that horrible feeling that, there would be some lapse in concentration and they would fucking get through. But thankfully, they were absolutely just about flawless, Derek, in their pressing play and their attacking play. We were just superb, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it's one side of the game, our Old Firm game, as you'll probably see, and yep. I've never seen a Celtic team make so many unforced errors in my life. It was incredible from us.
Again, though, that goes down a lot to our press and play, though, Derek, putting them under pressure and forcing them to make the mistakes, because they never get, there's no many teams that do that against them and force them to make so many mistakes. I think a lot of that has got to do with the way that we pressed them right from the start.
Yeah. So in the 6th minute, there was a shot by Celtic outside the box, really comfortable save by McGregor. And the 15th minute was a brilliant move down the left with triangle football. Kent manages to get the ball and keep the ball in play and cross the ball into the box. Takes a bounce and Candace with a half volley, forcing a great save from Craig Gordon. A minute later was a free kick whipped in, not dealt with, ending in Goldson having a flicked header from within the 6-yard box, forcing another great save from Gordon and out for the corner. The corner was played in, Brown jumps in and headers the ball but ends up hitting the post and back out again. I thought that was in at that moment there, didn't you?
Yes.
You didn't sound too sure there.
I don't know if it was just the way that I was kind of watching it or no, Derek. I get really, really nervous at these games, and I always have done. And I actually think I feel more nervous when we're going forward, and we've got a chance to score. I sometimes feel worse in these games than I do if we're defending, believe it or not, which is strange. So I was kind of watching it through sort of gritted teeth at that point.
Yeah. On the 20th minute, there was a quick break with Morelos down the right. Nobody up front supporting him in the middle. Takes it on himself and hits a shot from the right and deflected out for the corner. The corner was whipped in from the left, and there was a header just wide from Goldson. I know.
It was like it seemed to be at that point that it was just we were just having so much pressure, wasn't it? And we were just thinking, is this ever going to come?
Yeah, considering the way we've played the last couple of games, especially against the Hibs as well. Yeah.
Yep.
However, we did score on the 30th minute with Ryan Jack scoring. It was a lovely drive and run with the ball down the left by Kent. Incredible cutback in the box. Kent then has a great pass, a great vision to Jack, who shoots a cool shot near post through Brown's legs, kind of hits off the underside of Brown's leg as well and past the keeper. Potentially quite lucky with taking the ball, having that deflection there, but I'll take it every which way it comes. It was a lovely move and great play shot by Jack.
The one thing I'll say, Derek, at that stage in the game, we were having so much pressure, and Craig Gordon was having the game of his life, right? I'll say he was the one Celtic player who was absolutely sensational in this game. He was saving absolutely everything. So it was going to take something extra special, I think, in this game, or something which would take a wee nick off it. But taking nothing away from the move, the play by Kent down the left-hand side, that cutback was absolutely incredible. He completely sold the fullback there, completely sold them. And the great turn touch back, he's seen Ryan Jack running and absolutely delighted for Ryan Jack. I mean, his first goal for Rangers, Derek, Rangers at Ibrox against Celtic to put us 1-0 up. Absolutely fantastic. And it was just great at that point. When we scored that goal, I went, as I suppose everybody else did, I went absolutely ballistic because we had just been playing so well, and no even like skillful in a way, Derek, just the sheer intensity of our play was just so, it hadn't been there, as you said, in the last few games, and we were just absolutely pounding them, and it was just great for eventually for all that pressure to pay off.
Yeah, stuff of dreams for Jack as well. I mean, I couldn't believe that was his first goal for Rangers as well. Yeah. I thought he had scored before.
No.
Anyway, 7 minutes later was a quick break forward through the middle, out to Kent on the left side of the box. So it was a shot from 18 yards. He tried to curl it in, but it just went wide. So into half time, and absolutely buoyant, really outstanding first half. It was one-way traffic with us having not given Celtic any time in the ball, as you said. We were pressing high and forcing Celtic into mistakes.
And the amount of corners that we had as well, Derek, it was the one thing that I was watching it with my son. And again, if we were working on these corners there, the amount of corners that we had, but we really weren't putting them under much pressure with the amount of corners that we were that we had and we were putting in. But it showed you that the game was played in the Celtic half for the vast majority of that first half, didn't it? Yeah,
as you said as well, you go up at Celtic and they can't handle it. So we had some lovely players really pressing Celtic, and it's been proven throughout the season that if you do that against them, they can't handle it. They do not know how to do it. And what was amazing is the fact that because of us having such a weak midfield over the past 4 or 5 years, any time we've came up against Celtic, Brown's kind of ruled that roost. Whereas Arfield just completely marked him out the game, never gave him a chance, and he said that in a post-match an interview since the game this week, and he said that he had been looking at the game from afar, and he had noticed that nobody was closing down Brown, nobody was sticking on him, and that he knew that's the job he had to do, and he was absolutely outstanding at that. Just Scott Brown was embarrassed in this game, quite frankly.
I also think, Derek, that Ross McCrory is, he played his best game also. It was him that had got put into that role of sitting just in front of the defence, and the amount of times that he stopped anything going anywhere near defenders was absolutely fantastic. At any time that Celtic got a sniff of going on attack, Ross McCrory was the one that broke it up. He was absolutely outstanding, and that also allowed Ryan Jack and Arfield to sort of concentrate more on pressing Celtic when they did have the ball as well, which was great, because we did speak about Ross McCrory, didn't we? And we were wondering when he was going to get his shot, and I thought it was outstanding, Derek. I really did.
Yeah. So into the half time, absolutely buoyant, and we started the second half as the way we finished the first. And I initially kind of missed the first part of this when I was coming back up the stairs to watch the game, and I thought they were replaying a chance in the half time, but on the 46th minute, Gordon played a short kick out, Kent nips in and steals the ball, ended up 1v1 with Gordon, has a shot, but it was another great save from Gordon, comes back out, ends right in into the box, and Arfield has a shot which is cleared off the line. Couldn't believe it.
Arfield was more. He was kind of, he was off balance when the ball came back to him. That was the problem. If he had have one step backwards, he would have got on the end of that and had a clean shot just to put it away. But unfortunately, off balance, and it was a bit of a half-hearted shot by him, wasn't it? And then cleared by the defence. So again, really should have been capitalising on that. But Ryan Kent, Derek, every time he got the ball, he looked as if he was going to do something, and they looked absolutely terrified of him. They really did.
Yep. 47th minute, Celtic had a chance, and it was just by the post, and it was blocked and out for the corner. 51st minute, lovely play with Tavernier playing the ball into the box to feed himself, gets the cross into the middle, but it just snuffed out by the defence. 54th minute, another outstanding save from Gordon. The ball ended up on the edge of the box, and I can't remember who it was, but we had a place shot going into the bottom right hand corner, and Gordon managed to just get his hand to it and put it out for the corner.
I think it was Ryan Jack again.
Ryan Jack.
Yep.
61st minute, Morelos gets the ball into the box with his back to goal, and the defender tight on him, managed to spin and get the shot off near post, but easily gathered by Gordon. On the 66th minute, kind of round about the 60th minute to the 70th minute, Celtic had made a change. I think they had taken off Mikey Johnson and they brought on Odsonne Edouard, and it did make a bit of a difference there. Celtic did have the ball in the back of the net. It was a well worked move, but McGregor had just drifted offside. Fortunately for us, that it was ruled offside. Well spotted by the linesman.
But Derek, let's be honest with you, that was the only time in that whole match that they really managed to get through our midfield and defence in the whole match, which is quite something, because the one thing about Celtic during games is they always look at some point as if they're going to score. even if they're playing badly. And that was, a testament again, I think, especially to sort of Ross McCrory, who I thought was outstanding. It was a one time they managed to get past him, and the one time they managed to get past him, they had a great chance to score, but as you say, just offside and well spotted by the linesman. But that's again, my heart was in my mouth at that point, Derek, as I'm sure everybody else was, because it would have been the biggest injustice ever if they'd have got anything out of this game.
Yeah. I was laughing about the Celtic fans, saying, aye, but it was just offside. Though it was just offside. Aye, it was fucking offside then, wasn't it? There was no just about it. 70th minute, Morelos gets in front of Boyata on the left, passes to Arfield in the centre, but it was behind him and eventually away by Celtic defence. Morelos probably should have been selfish there. He should have taken it on himself, because the ball he played was pretty shit, to be honest. If it was a better ball, it would have been in, or he was selfish.
And it's no like him at all, Derek, is it? We've covered this before. You just know that Morelos isn't going to pass the ball. You just know that he's going to take everything on himself, and I do quite like that about him. And that's, I think his teammates were more shocked than anything else, the fact that he did pass that in that position. So I was really quite surprised. He really should have had a wee pop there.
Yep. On the 70th minute, Candace came off and Koulibaly came on, and certainly when Celtic was trying to get back into the game, I think that substitution nullified whatever Celtic were trying to do. It kind of shored us up a wee bit, brought the game back a wee bit into midfield. So 74th minute, Ross McCrory taking on two players and beating them in a forward position. Absolutely outstanding from the youngster. That shows you the confidence that guy's running with now, and he's back in the side and playing outstanding.
We all know the guy's got the ability, Derek, and me and you have been talking the last sort of few pods about McCrory getting back in the team, because we knew even last year under Pedro, when things weren't going well, he was absolutely outstanding, wasn't he? Especially when he got moved forward into that sort of defensive midfield role. You could see how good a player he was. And I thought he was absolutely outstanding in this game, Derek.
Yeah, absolutely. 77th minute, Tavernier with a 30-yard free kick up and over the wall, but a comfortable save from Gordon. McCrory again with a chance in the 83rd minute with a shot whilst he was falling from about 20 yards, and it was just over the bar. Good effort. A minute later, some last-ditch defending in the box with Halliday blocking the shot and eventually knocked out for the corner. Yeah. That was goal-bound, certainly, and it was brilliant defending there from Halliday, putting his body on the line with that one.
Never put a foot wrong, Derek. Never put a foot wrong in the whole game.
91st minute, the last piece of last note I've got here, Arfield came off and Flanagan came on, and that's the most nervous I've been in the last couple of minutes of a game for some time, even in the European games, because how much this meant to us. And the full-time whistle went, and absolute relief, joy, screams, the whole lot. Ibrox went ballistic. Unbelievable celebrations. The folk who are there saying the atmosphere is some of the best atmosphere they've ever experienced at Ibrox. And to a man, the only player that you couldn't give any pass marks to is McGregor, because basically he done fuck all in the game.
Exactly. Yes, I know.
To a man, we were outstanding.
Everybody was excellent, Derek, but I do have to say the McCrory, especially in the first half, Ryan Kent, I thought were absolutely sensational, the two of them. As you said when you mentioned there about Arfield was right up in their faces, never gave them a minute's peace, which was brilliant as well. He was pressing them constantly when they had the ball. It was just great, the change in attitude as well, Derek, but all the players, that bit of belief. And it just shows that our coaching team had done their homework. They knew how to play against them, which was fantastic. And we've been waiting on it a long time, Derek. And let us revel in it, because it was excellent. It was a joy to watch, and it was just really, really pleasing and relief more than anything else. And that result will do more for those players than anything else, because they now know that they can beat them.
Yeah. Absolutely.
As simple as that.
I mean, my only worry about the actual result, before we get into the what happened afterwards, my only worry about it is that it could have the adverse effect, certainly not so far anyway, what we've seen, but it could have the effect like it did when we beat them in the semi-final in 2012, where it might prompt the Celtic board to go out and spend money and, push the boat out and get the players that Brendan Rodgers wants, because they obviously done that when they had Delia in and we beat them, and I'm convinced that Delia would have stayed if they had won that semi-final, which would have been better for us in the long run. But then they got rid of him, and then they got in, spent money and got Brendan Rodgers in. So
honestly don't think that Celtic will be spending any type of serious money, Derek, to be honest with you.
It's their wage bill the reason why they won't.
I really don't. You can see the players that they've brought in on loan. You know, I mean, I don't know anything about these. They've brought in a striker the night who I know nothing about. They've got in a young laddie for France on loan who's just young, and they've also brought in Oliver Burke, who, you know, to be fair to him, was, you know, a good player. You don't get signed by a big club in Germany, you know, if you're not a good player, but he has fallen by the wayside down at West Brom. He's not getting his game anymore either, and he's a winger. It's really no what they were looking for, I don't think. So I honestly don't think that they're going to spend anything major. And then, as I say, going by the players that we've brought in, established, you know, international type players, is you know, it's fantastic. It's great business, and, you know, really exciting.
Yeah, we'll certainly get into that.
I know. But going back to your point about, you know, this is what they've done with Celtic, I still think that they are arrogant enough to think that they don't need to go out and sign anybody, because they think that they are a fantastic team, and they've got no, you know, again, something that we're going to get into, this whole belief that they have that they're, you know, they're not allowed to be beaten fair and square. There's got to be, you know, some dark force at work against them. You know, that is, you know, the only way that you can win against them is if you're cheating, and that's the way that they actually think, Derek. So I'm quite pleased at that, because they will still genuinely think that they've got enough there, you know, to go and win the league quite comfortably, which is great for us.
Yep. One thing I want to say as well, Steven Gerrard was absolutely outstanding. Normally, obviously, we've seen that he makes sure he shakes the hands of the away players as they're coming, or the opposition players as they're coming off the field. Now, I never knew this at the time, but apparently the Celtic players in the first Old Firm game totally snubbed them. He was waiting for them, and they decided to fuck off on their stupid wee lap of honour.
Yeah.
Now, he waited at the touchline, and he waited, and as they were coming off, he turned his back to them and then started shaking our players' hands instead. It was outstanding from Gerrard there, and it really put Celtic players in their place to say, we're not going to be fucked about with anymore. You want to play that silly wee, you know, petty childish game, then fuck yous. Yep,
absolutely brilliant, as you say, and you know, just a absolute class, even with the you know, the press conference after it, Derek. He was great. He wasn't, you know, he basically came out, he said his piece, he said it was an important win for us, but he didn't play it up too much, if you know what I mean. I thought it was outstanding.
Yep. So the fallout, I don't know where we start with this.
Right, well, Derek, can I start with something first of all before you get into everything that's happened? Now, we were talking there about Steven Gerrard, about what he said after the game to the press. Go to Brendan Rodgers, right? Now, I'm not one here to go on about it, but Brendan Rodgers, I thought, was very dignified. He basically came in and said that Rangers were the better team. The better team won. No excuses, Derek. And it was left at that, which I thought was fair enough. That's what the Celtic manager has said. And now, going on everything that has happened, he must really be looking at the Celtic board or whoever makes these decisions to say, you've just made me look like a complete and utter arse, because I really wasn't going to make much of what was going on. I went out, I said what I was to say, and I was going to move on, and now that completely turns around everything that he said. So he must be embarrassed as well, Derek, but I'll let you get into everything that's happened since then.
Yeah. I've got an order here, a rough order of what's all kind of happened. Now, after the game, Rangers were praised equally as much as Celtic were, you know, basically told they were shite in the day. Rangers were certainly praised in the media generally. Apart from Chris Sutton, who claims that we celebrated like we won the Champions League. Well, for a start, he's no idea how that win would feel, as he's never been in the position we've been as a team and as a support. So that's his first fucking black mark straight away. But, you know, you put it down to Sutton being Sutton in this case, because he just, I don't know whether, as you and Cameron quite rightly put, I don't know if he's on the wind up or he genuinely believes the shite that comes out of his mouth. I think it's a bit of both, to be honest, but we'll get into him in a minute.
Yeah.
Now, the general consensus was, after the game, even a day after, that the ref had an excellent game.
Yep.
And I think that's one thing that we all kind of came away with and said that he let it flow. He could have blown for a few things for either team, but he let it go. And it's really arguably the way football should be played.
Yep.
Unless a player does an over-the-top challenge, let things go. These niggly things break up games and allow the game to flow. And the game did flow. And yeah, maybe looking at through blue-tinted specs because we were on top the whole game, but it was a great performance from the referee, I thought. And we're certainly not Beaton's biggest fan because he's fucked us over certainly a few times. So
many a time, Derek.
So let's get that clear straight away. But then, a day or two later, somebody from the Celtic fan base made a video of 3 Morelos incidents where Morelos kicked the balls of Brown through the back. The ref actually blew for a foul for that one. He allegedly stamped on Ralston's back. Now, if that's a stamp, then I don't know what the fuck is isn't he a stamp? Because that wasn't a stamp. That was, he put his foot on his back, certainly. And there was a grab the balls of another player, I can't remember who it was. Now, he certainly motioned towards that area as he was getting up from the ground, but from any TV pictures, it's not clear what's actually happened. So, and bearing in mind that if you're talking about a punch in the balls or a grab of the balls, Bates got that happen to him last year as well, and it was only a yellow card. And
Derek, but the most ridiculous statement from that, and I don't know if you were going to cover it or not, was a Celtic fan actually put on social media that it was sexual assault. Now,
they would know all about fucking sexual assaults, wouldn't they?
Now, Derek, I've seen some ridiculous tweets by Celtic fans, but that for me is right up there with one of the worst. It was absolutely hilarious, and you could just tell that the person that was writing it was absolutely raging.
And he copied the legislation from the law as well into the tweet. So, I mean, this is a stupid thing about that one instant there. One of the most famous pictures in British football was of Vinnie Jones grabbing Gazza's balls. Yep,
it's hilarious. All of these things slowed down, Derek, mega slowed down, look bad. In real time, these were wee flicks, knocks, wee very, very small niggles in real time. When you slow them down and actually stop them, or go frame by frame, of course they're going to look sinister, but they're not, and they're not in real time. And this is what I think is absolutely hilarious about it, because I'm sure that we could get Rangers fans going into any number of games that we've played in and do exactly the same thing by freezing things, just as things happen. It's absolutely ridiculous. The referee, as you said, Derek, let the game flow. We came to the end of the game, and not one pundit at all on the TV mentioned anything about a referee. I heard, I don't know how many of them going on about how well the referee had done, and as you say, let the game flow the way it should be, so the game wasn't stopping constantly for wee niggly things. Not one person said anything about it until some of these fucking bunker nuts came out with all these, things that they posted up. It was absolutely, I've never actually seen anything quite like it. And again, it comes down to this whole fucking persecution complex that they have. This fucking always cheated, never defeated fucking attitude that they have. It is quite incredible, Derek. It really is.
Well, the next thing we know, that the Celtic-appointed Celtic fan compliance officer is going to review the Morelos incidents only, despite there being about 3 or 4 other clear-cut incidents where Celtic players could have been cited for the exact same thing, like the Brown tackle in Candeas, or the clear handball in the box by the Celtic player. Nothing about them.
No.
And this is when the media starts stoking the flames. Eventually, once the incident was reviewed, the SFA said that no further punishments, as Beaton said that all of the incidents he had seen them, therefore no case to answer, as the ref has ruled at them at the time. Now, this is when the real meltdowns happens.
Yep, total.
Chris Sutton claims that there's SFA bias. Well, you know what Chris Sutton is like when it comes to no getting his own way. Well, you just need to look back in the Dunfermline game, don't you?
Derek, I put a wee tweet out as well about Chris Sutton. Chris Sutton, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, Chris Sutton won so many fouls against various teams by cheating that It was unbelievable.
Yep.
Chris Sutton, like I said, would fall to the ground if somebody sneezed that was standing next to him. I used to watch him time and time again back into players, fall to the ground and win free kicks on the edge of the box. It would lead to so many goals. Chris Sutton used to cheat every single game. He was one of the biggest guys on that pitch, and the slightest wee thing he would go down like a sack of tatties and win a free kick. So that guy, I was actually taken aback by him, especially coming away with things like that, because he used to pull the wool over referees' eyes every single game that he played for Celtic. And I remember him doing it clearly loads and loads of times. So he's got an absolute cheek, the man. He really has.
Yep. So, the usual suspects in the media, we all know them, who they are. They start to claim the same as Sutton, and the fact that the whole thing is shocking and there needs to be something done.
Surely the usual suspects, you're not talking about our good friend Tom English.
Well, I'll get into him in a minute. The usual suspects from the pretend journalists on Twitter, say the exact same as well, and in general Celtic fans go mental. Then Celtic issue a statement, granted it was probably a wee bit more toned down than ours, but saying the same thing as well. Now, we got ridiculed and 5 charges against us. Celtic have been given a fucking meeting with the SFA over this.
Yep.
Where's the fucking, balance there?
Yep.
And then, unbelievably, John Beaton he has to call the police because his phone number and his address is leaked online, and he starts to get sinister and threatening calls and texts. Where does this stop? Now, Celtic they seem to forget that they got referees striking the last time. What is going to happen this time now that the referees are starting to get threatened? And they use it, and basically ultimately that it's because of the media stoking the flames that this has happened now, and the same media types are now deflecting and claim it wasn't your fault. How can you blame us? They don't see the direct correlation that what they write fuels the absolute crazies in the Celtic fans. Now, yes, they're not to blame for the individual for sending the threats. That's just complete fucking moron, that's doing it, or morons that are doing that. But they're stoking the flames and getting these stupid idiots wound up. So if they don't see a direct correlation with that, they've got a direct responsibility to keep the waters calm, as it were. They know how volatile Old Firm games can be, especially the Celtic fans when they get like this. So they're trying to shirk all responsibility. Is absolutely scandalous, isn't it?
Totally, Derek. And as you say, not even things that they write, Derek, again, on social media is huge. And they know that they just have to put in a couple of lines onto their social media accounts, whether it's Twitter or whatever, and straight away they'll get so many 100 people that will be retweeting that, and then it'll just go viral within a matter of a couple of minutes, and it's right out there, and that stokes the flames majorly. I actually think that's worse, Derek, than some of the stuff that they write in the papers, because let's be honest, who actually fucking reads a newspaper these days? So it's all, a lot of this stuff comes down to stuff that they straight away put out on social media, and as you say, it's the same suspects every single time.
And that's the thing, see when something happens against Rangers, or their players, or their fans, or anything like that, nothing. You hear absolutely nothing. They don't comment on it. But you the likes of Graham Spears, as soon as Rangers fans do something that's a bit questionable, he's jumping over it like nothing on earth. Now, you mentioned another name there, Tom English. I don't know why he started writing this, because obviously the whole racism thing in Scottish football is starting to rear its ugly head again. Yep. And, Celtic fans claiming that Ovie Ejaria, the reason why he left is because there was he was given racist remarks and things like that. That's bullshit, I'm not even going to get into that. But he wrote this article online, and it got published by the BBC, initially stating that Shea Logan received racist abuse at Ibrox. Then it was taken down. It was well fucking documented that it was at the Gyrodome, but English didn't actually see fit to say that or even apologise for actually printing the bullshit story about Ibrox. And then he tried to justify his initial comment in citing what looks to be a fake Twitter account, which is now deleted, claiming it was a Rangers fan. And he said that at the time when it was published, the tweet was put out, that he didn't personally hear the abuse. He only overheard a steward saying that he was told about it. So basically, third or fourth hand information passed down. He was using that as his source. These journalists these days, as you said, that it's all online now, they don't understand the whole thing about dual sourcing. I'm not even a journalist, and I know about fucking dual sourcing, about two independent, unimpeachable sources of information where you can base your story on. Tom English and the rest of the stupid media types like that do not do that anymore. So they create these shitty bullshit stories, which have only got, half-truths at the very, very most. It's absolute scandalous, and they're calling themselves journalists over this.
It's unfortunately, Derek, and it's not it's not brought in by law. Them doing things like that. Unfortunately, I know it is in certain countries, but over here, it's basically they're getting free rein to basically make up bullshit.
They're glorified bloggers now.
And they're able just to publish it, which I find absolutely incredible, which again brings into question who is actually running things for the various media agencies that they're working for.
A couple of days later, Chris Sutton at it again. He was on BT Sport TV, and he called Morelos Buffalo Brains. He then tried to deflect it and say it's his well-known nickname is El Buffalo, so how can the hell can we get offended by that? Yeah, it's kind of a bit racist, Sutton. It's
not even that, Derek. Let's be honest. Would he give a nickname of any kind to any other player in Scottish football? No, he would not. There wouldn't be any. He's making it out like it's a sort of playful, having a laugh. He would never ever come away with a nickname for any of the current Celtic team or anything like that. That's just it was really childish. It was pathetic.
As I mentioned on Twitter, what happens if somebody called him the bankrupt prick on TV? I'm pretty sure he wouldn't take kindly to that, would he? It's more than anything, it's completely unprofessional.
Totally, and you could even tell the co-presenters on BT really didn't have a clue what he was talking about, and they had to get him to clarify who it was that he was talking about, which I think it was just really childish. It was really petty, and as you say, so unprofessional. It was unreal, and it showed him in the light that he is. That it's pathetic, Derek. And I honestly still can't believe someone who is supposed to be professional would come away with something like that. It was absolutely freaking ridiculous. It really was.
And then the stories came out a couple of days after that, because obviously it was pulled up about his racist, unprofessional comments there, that he's claiming he's had death threats. Now, he's apparently had these threats before the claim that his column about the biased SFA, but after the actual football. So I'm going to clarify this here by saying if it has happened, it's absolutely shocking, uncalled for, nobody deserves threats like that. However, awfully funny that after he's been called out for being racist, unprofessional, that he's now saying that he's been getting threats. So really, either the threats didn't happen at all, and he's deflecting what he's actually done by trying to put the sympathy on him. Now, players from that club and that club do that quite often, don't they? There's certain stories that they provide to the media and certain comments they provide to the media when negative stories about them and their past are going to come out. So I'll leave that one there because I think we all know what I'm talking about there.
Well, there's too many to choose from, Derek, let's be honest.
And then to top it all off, the other night there, Ryan Jack out in Aberdeen with his missus, and he had to leave a bar because he was getting harassed as well from a certain amount of fans, and apparently one of them was one of the bar staff that worked there as well, so orchestrating things. So, you know, just I know this whole Rangers, nobody likes us, we don't care kind of thing, but it gets to the stage when, fuck them all, but when there's clear evidence there where we're targeted like this, when everything is poor Celtic, poor us, from the media, from the SFA, it's unbelievable. It really is. You know, I don't know where to go with that one there.
Again, Derek, going back, and I'm going back again, it makes me think of the whole thing with Brendan Rodgers speaking to the press after the game, and basically, again saying Rangers were the better team. We weren't at the races basically, and they deserved their win, and that was the end of it. For him to say that, and then Celtic as a club to come out with a statement and be demanding to speak to referees and all that, it just makes a complete mockery of him. I think, to be honest with you. And again, I'm not one for slagging off Brendan Rodgers at all. I've never done that. But it really does, and it's so, again, unprofessional, and you've got to wonder what he's thinking about all this as well. He must be saying to himself, why the fuck did I even bother saying anything out there at all when they're going to go out and, print something like this and give out these statements. It's just, it's this whole persecution complex that they've got, isn't it? It's this whole, we can't be defeated. There's obviously somebody cheating somewhere, and it's something that's always been there, and it's inbred into their fans as well, Derek. It really is, because they've now suddenly gone from being, we were shite, to, we were fucking cheated out of that game. That's how it goes. It deflects away from fucking how much we absolutely pounded them. And it gives them this excuse to say, it wasn't the fact that we were shite and Rangers were better, it was the fact that the referee was on their side and we were cheated out of it. And it's quite incredible, and that's how the vast majority of our fans, believe it as well, and it's incredible stuff, it really is.
So, we've kind of ranted on for a wee bit there, but certainly it leaves us pretty good in the table. We've played 21, won 12, drawn 6, lost 3, scored 43, conceded 16, goal difference plus 27, and we're on 42 points. So we're joint top with Celtic, who have a game in hand, but they've got a plus 5 better goal difference. 1 point ahead of Killie, 3 ahead of Aberdeen, 6 ahead of Hearts, 8 ahead of St Johnstone, who have got a game in hand, 12 ahead of Livy, 13 ahead of Hibs, who are in 8th place. Can you imagine if we had taken the extra 4 points off Hibs right now? Then factor in the last minute goal we conceded against Aberdeen, then factor in the last minute goal we conceded. There's 8 points we should have been clear right now. But again, Derek, games that we really should have been out of sight on, and a lot of them, and we weren't. So again, there's it's ifs and buts there, but games that we really should have won and put to bed a lot earlier. But it's one of these things. To go back, Derek, and look at the league table just now. Steven Gerrard's first season, only 6 months in the job, basically a brand new team. I'm delighted just now with that. And as you say, certain games that we really should have won as well factored into that. We've got a great record at the moment, haven't we? And I'm sure you're about to get on to the new arrivals that have came in. So no, things are very positive just now, Derek, and I'm really pleased, and I was absolutely delighted with that victory. It was just a huge victory for everyone connected with the club, from the players to the fans. Everything. It was fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's been that many games where, certainly the results that have been a bit disappointing, certainly a lot of them, but there's been quite a few games, there's not been many games where you can say, we were utter horseshit. I mean, probably the Livingston game and the first Celtic game were probably the two that stick out for me, but very positive so far, and we're certainly in the right direction. Games to come anyway. The next game we play is Friday the 18th of January. It's away to Cowdenbeath in the round 4 of the Scottish Cup. That's a 19:45 kick-off. We then have a friendly on the 20th of January again at Ibrox against Morelos' old club, HJK Helsinki.
All right.
That was an agreement apparently set up when Morella signed for us, so tickets are on sale for that now, I believe.
Okay.
Wednesday the 23rd of January away to Kilmarnock, so that'll be a big one, the first proper league game, and we'll get onto some issues with that later on as well. That's a 19:45 kick-off. Then we have Sunday the 27th of January away to Livingston, so that's another going to be a tough game I think as well, so hopefully we can avenge the defeat we got there the last time. 1600 kick-off, and then Saturday the 2nd of February at home to St Mirren, so it's not until the 2nd of February our next home game.
Quite a distance away, but there you go.
Yep. So, we'll now go into the classic match.
And there it is. The final whistle's gone. Rangers have won the European Cup Winners' Cup.
Dave, you have got a game against our next league opponents, haven't you, to go over?
Yes, that's correct. Yes, a match against Kilmarnock. It was actually a belter of a game, Derek. It was away from home. It was at Rugby Park. And it was away back in the year 2000, and it was the 5th of September 2000 where Rangers travelled to Kilmarnock, Dick Advocat being the manager. And the Rangers team on that day was Stefan Kloss in goals, Sergio Perini, Fernando Rickson, Lorenzo Amoruso and Bert Conterman. Midfield, Claudio Reyna, Barry Ferguson, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, Neil McCann. And up front for Rangers was Rod Wallace and Billy Dodds. On the subs bench for Rangers that day was Mark Brown, Andre Kanchelskis, Tugai, Kenny Miller and Bob Malcolm. Notable players for Kilmarnock that day: Gordon Marshall in goals, Gus McPherson. Cole, who's now the current manager of Livingston, was playing Alan Mahood. And up front for Kilmarnock, the man who, he was a very, very talented player. He was certainly outstanding against us in this game, was Andy McLaren. So basically it was a tale of two halves, Derek. In the first half, Kilmarnock were by far the better team, and they started off on the front foot with an early chance, a floated ball into the box, really dangerous, but a really good save by Stefan Kloss. And then as early as the 3rd minute, Kilmarnock actually won a penalty.
Ball just kept in. That's a penalty kick, yes. No question, Conterman really taken on the outside by Andy McLaren, the man we mentioned right at the start. Penalty kick, no complaints, as he keeps the right leg trailing. So, McLaren, I think, will take the responsibility himself. This is how it came about. Neat little jink, that's typical McLaren play. We used to see him do that a lot for Dundee United. I talked about rehabilitation. This will take him a stride forward. Yes, Killian 1-up.
It was that man McLaren who went racing down in the box. He was brought down by a really clumsy challenge by Bert Conterman, who looked really, really shaky in this game. Conterman brought him down in the box, clear penalty, and it was McLaren himself who stepped up and fired it into the goal to make it 1-0 to Kilmarnock. Not sitting back though, Kilmarnock were on the attack again not long after that on the 5th minute. And the ball actually bounced off Bert Conterman's head and was nearly an own goal. He looked a total calamity in defence at that point for Rangers, and every time Kilmarnock were attacking, it was looking really, really quite dodgy. From that corner, Andy McLaren actually had a first time shot right in front of the goal in the penalty spot, and it just went wide. So Kilmarnock really should have been 2-0 up at that point, but on the 9th minute they actually did.
Easily taken away. There's a beautiful boot follow to McLaren again. Great run forward by the lad, and it's in again. His second goal. Quite astonishing in the Rangers defence, ripped apart right down the middle, but what an astute run by Andy McLaren. 9.5 minutes gone. Beautiful ball played forward there.
They broke and they played a fantastic ball through to McLaren, who had a lot still to do, but he sort of went one way and another and had a great shot just for the edge of the box past Stefan Kloss into the goal to make it 2-0 to Killie. Rangers really had done nothing up to this point. and it wasn't until about the 31st minute where Giovanni Van Bronckhorst had a cross into Rod Wallace, who one of the weakest guys in the park, right in the middle of the goal, but he headed it over. Really should have done better at that one, but that was really Rangers' first chance in the whole of the game on the 31st minute. 34th minute, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst with a through ball to Rod Wallace, who was brought down by the Kilmarnock defender, and it was his second yellow card, and he was sent off and was down to 10 men. So turning point in the game for Rangers was definitely that, because Kilmarnock were on the front foot up until that point. But then 2 minutes later,
McCann, lovely little turn, he goes on the outside, and it's a penalty kick. Subert tried to take him on the outside, and the referee, Tom Brown, points to the penalty spot. Yes, that's a penalty kick. So Billy Dodds, there it goes, Rangers have pulled themselves back.
Neil McCann bursting into the box, he was brought down by Holt, clear as day, a penalty to Rangers. So this gave us the lifeline before half time that we were looking for, and Billy Dodds duly grabbed that goal for Rangers, and he smashed the penalty high into the top corner to make it 2-1 to Kilmarnock. But going in to half time, Kilmarnock definitely the better team and definitely deserved their 2-1 lead at that point. Now, Dick Advocaat made an early change at the second half, and Andre Kanchelskis came on for Fernando Rickson. At the second half, I think, really belonged to Neil McCann, because he started off with a fantastic run on the left-hand side and leaves two players for dead, puts in a fantastic cross, but it was an excellent save by Gordon Marshall and goals to pluck that one away from the on-rushing Billy Dodds. Barry Ferguson, who had been pretty quiet, also came back in. It was Barry Ferguson with a skinhead as well. I can't really remember that, Derek, but looking back, Barry Ferguson sporting a skinhead. He had a low shot for the edge of the box after some really good patient passing play by Rangers, applying pressure at that point. Andre Kanchelskis then with a fantastic run down the right with a high cross. A really dodgy clearance by Gus McPherson, who almost put the ball past his own goalkeeper, but it just went past the post for a corner to Rangers. And then at that point, Dick Advocaat really went for it. Sergio Perini came off. He was replaced by a very young Kenny Miller. And Rod Wallace came off, who was replaced by Tugai. And a notable substitute for Kilmarnock, Derek, Ali McCoist coming on for Kilmarnock. But at this point, Rangers were throwing everything at Killie. They really were. Giovanni Van Bronckhorst had a shot for the edge of the box, and that went out for a corner. And on the 75th minute, from that corner, Rangers managed to draw level.
Swept in better, and it's in for Billy Dodds again, would you believe? Well, I cannot stress enough what this man has done, despite all the talk of it getting illustrious strikers to Ibrox. It's a rescue act again by this man, boring his way into goal. There was only one thing he had in mind, get the forehead to it, and he did. And we've got exactly 15 minutes remaining. We're now back to square level.
The corner was fired in by Giovanni Van Bronckhorst right to Billy Dodds in the centre of the goal. He headed it past Gordon Marshall to make it 2-2 to Rangers, and at that point you knew that there was going to be no looking back. There was only going to be one winner here, because Rangers were really going for it, and we only had to wait 2 minutes later for Rangers to go ahead for the first time in the match.
Now Ferguson might want to go himself, he does, tries to get in there, Miller's done it! The young sub puts Rangers ahead. His first real meaningful goal for the club. And Rangers now lead by 3-2, and no wonder they're hugging him.
Andre Kanchelskis on the right-hand side into Claudio Reyna, who finds Barry Ferguson on the edge of the box. Ferguson runs into the box, goes one way, then the other. He shoots, It's blocked by the defender and it deflects back to Kenny Miller, who lashes the ball into the net to make it 3-2 to Rangers. Fantastic stuff. Barry Ferguson, some great skill there and great poacher's instinct by Kenny Miller to put it into the net to make it 3-2. And then Rangers rounded out the game a few minutes later, a couple of minutes before the game finished.
Surging forward again, this time McCann with it. It's not offside, and it should be. It is. Tugai does it. An intelligent run forward, and that puts it beyond any doubt. The Tuckies player scored his first league goal. And all that pressure has paid off, and the referee, I think, might even book for the way they went to the crowd there. Yes, I think he's got his card out, and he's reminding Tugai of his responsibility of self-discipline. But at this moment, in the euphoria of scoring the fourth goal, look at his run forward, a great ball there by McCann. He might have taken the tourist route to goal, but the long way round, it still paid off.
Neil McCann, actually in the centre of the midfield, sees the on-running Tugai and sends a phenomenal chip ball through to Tugai. Tugai then rounds the goalkeeper, keeps his calm, steadies himself and fires it into the net with two defenders on the line. The Rangers run out 4-2 winners, so a poor first half by Rangers, an excellent second half, and Neil McCann in particular was absolutely outstanding on that day. I take it you'll remember that one, Derek. It wasn't that long ago.
Honestly, I don't. It was 18 years ago. I've had a lot of drinking that time.
It was the red NTL kits that they were wearing at that point, Derek, so really smart. But no, like always, guys, if you get the chance to go back and watch it, it was a really good game to watch. And even seeing the likes of Andy McLaren for Kilmarnock, who really was a talented player, really should have played at a much higher level than he did. But I know he had a lot of personal problems and stuff that stopped him that way. But he was a phenomenal player to watch. So again, get the chance. The game's on YouTube. Go back and watch it.
Yeah, fantastic result, and I'll certainly settle for that. A 4-2 and a pish first half performance and a great second half performance in the up and coming game.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, it's now time for the news. Right, quite a few bits and pieces to get through in the news, and we better start with the signings then, shouldn't we?
Yes, definitely, Derek. It's exciting signings.
Yeah, probably the pick of the bunch here as well. Jermaine Defoe signed on an 18-month loan deal from Bournemouth. There's 2 periods where he can be recalled as well, which is quite strange. I've never seen a loan deal actually specifically saying that before. But certainly this is the number 9 we're looking for, I think, isn't it?
It's Derek. What have I been saying for I don't know how long? We are needing a poacher. Somebody that will instinctively feed off any scraps that we've got in the box, anything, and you can't get a better poacher, in my opinion, at this moment in time than Jermaine Defoe. A lot of people, Derek, have been saying that he's going to be a strike partner for Morelos. I honestly don't know if he will be, Derek. I don't know if this is going to be a guy who will primarily be used from the subs bench to come on with half an hour to go. He'll play his fair share of games up front on his own. I still don't know. But I am very excited. But I mean, a man of his experience, a man of his skill, a man of his ability, a man of his, history scoring goals. It's an absolutely fantastic signing. And there's been a lot of people have made comments about his age, but let's be honest, which team in the Scottish Premier League at this moment in time, and I mean every single team, who would not want to have Jermaine Defoe playing for them right now? Yeah. Every single one of them would take him in an instant, and I include that lot for the other side of the city. He's actually the player that they would absolutely love to have in their team right now, going by the way that they're playing. A poacher extraordinaire that he is. He's, I'm absolutely delighted. and he's straight in. He's been given the number 9 shirt, Derek, which is a lot of famous people have worn the number 9 for Rangers, and it's great to see. I can't wait to see him playing.
Yep, brilliant. Next one, Stephen Davis re-signs for the club on a 6-month loan deal, which will basically see out his contract with Southampton. So I think that's potentially with a deal to sign permanently with us. So great. That's another good attacking creative midfielder that we've been looking for. So
again, Derek, the experience the guy's got, he's still totally fit. He's still very hungry. He said himself he's got some unfinished business as well at Rangers. You can tell he's delighted to be back, and another great addition to the team. And I think that he will go straight into the team, Derek. I think he'll be a starter whenever he's fit. And let's be honest, the type of player that he is, the quality player, he's got to be in there. But again, just a fantastic signing. And I think was it yourself that put the tweet out about we've got rid of Jaria and Sadiq, and we've brought in Steve Davis and Jermaine Defoe. So I mean, that just shows you, the quality, the calibre of player that we've got, and they're not the only ones, are they?
Yeah, we've signed Jordan Jones from Kilmarnock and Glenn Kamara from Dundee on pre-contracts. So it's at this stage, it's unclear if we're going to pay some sort of small fee to let them join with us just now. Certainly, they've been touted as our summer signings. I think from the reports that Kamara is going to be he's more likely to sign just now. However, after Jones's comments on Twitter, I know a Kelly fan at work who is raging with him. I can't see too many Kilmarnock fans being happy with that and want him in the team now.
No, and I think the reports tonight were that Rangers were in dialogue with Dundee about getting the deal done early and getting him in the team just now. I'll be honest with you, Derek, I honestly don't know much about this guy at all. The one person that I will say, though, that did speak about this guy a while ago was David Edgar on Heart and Hand. He had sort of singled this guy out as being, probably Dundee's best player. I honestly don't know much about the guy at all, but if Stephen Gerrard he's obviously caught his eye, and the Rangers scouts, so here's hoping that he turns out to be a really good player. And Jordan Jones, Derek, is at least 2 seasons now. He's probably been Kilmarnock's a fantastic player for them, and he's now a current Northern Ireland international, isn't he? Also, so another excellent addition to the squad. I don't know. Again, Derek, is he a right winger? Is he a left winger? I'm not quite sure which side he plays on, but certainly got the calibre there as well, hasn't he? And a proven player in the Premier League in Scotland. So excellent business, and another part of the Northern Ireland contingent that we've got in the team. So really pleased, Derek. That's 4 absolutely brilliant signings. Don't know if there's any more to come in or not. But we'll just have to wait and see. But absolutely delighted. What is your feeling on the Defoe signing, Derek? Because a lot of people have been. I mean, the ridiculous thing that we kept getting fired at us. Oh well, that's Defoe and so Morelos must be away. But that was quickly, it was put out there by Rangers that Morelos will not be getting sold in the summer. In this transfer window. So I mean that was quashed straight away. But what's your feelings on it, Derek? Do you think that Defoe is going to be? Is he going to shoehorn him in and play the two of them up front, or are you like me? Do you think that he's going to be using him as a more of a sort of impact player if we're struggling in a game to get goals?
I think it's maybe going to be a bit of both. It gives us that option hopefully to play the two up front, and Morelos at the end of the day he'll need to start getting used to playing with another attacker up with him. Whether Morelos does the whole still dropping back thing, because he's brilliant at it. He's hold up play, he's dragging defenders out and all that kind of thing, and then even with some of his passing's outstanding. So, and as I've said before, him doing that is leaving a Morelos-shaped hole there to pass to. So if you've got Defoe supporting him that way, then you've got your outlet there, which is the thing that we're lacking now, is scoring goals in that outlet, because sometimes our final ball's been dreadful. mainly because there's nobody to go to.
Yeah.
So, in terms of his age, you know, the only worry is obviously looking at previous big name players that have came up and played for that other side as well, and they've been largely shite. Let's face it. The difference is though, they've came up for an apparent payday. Jermaine Defoe is going to get his wages, by the look of it, still paid by and large by Bournemouth. So he's not coming for a payday, is he? He's coming to win trophies.
And again, Derek, these players that you've spoke about, you know, these big name players have came in to be main players in that team. They've came to play every single game, whereas Jermaine Defoe knows that the main striker in the team right now is Alfredo Morelos, and the Rangers fans know that as well. So, you know, there's not as much pressure on Defoe, I think, to come up and be, you know, an absolute success. And, you know, he's the player that we're all pinning our hopes on, because he's not, because we all know that we've got, you know, a striker there already who we all adore and we all think he's like absolutely phenomenal. So I think that'll work in his favour as well, Derek. He's there to basically boost the squad and to give us that, you know, extra quality in the squad, which is fantastic. He's no there, you know, to be the saviour of the season. Do you know what I mean? So it's excellent.
Yeah. A couple of other bits of transfer news, or as such contract news. Ryan Jack has signed a new deal that keeps him at Ibrox until 2021, so fantastic news. Since he's came back into the squad after his injury, he's been outstanding, ruled that that midfield. Can't say much more about it than that, because he's been fantastic. Yeah.
Definitely.
And news that has came out tonight, apparently Eduardo Herrera has joined Necaxa on a 6-month loan deal. So I can't see it, because bearing in mind him and Pena are still on our books. So
where is Pena? Because remember, he was spotted back in Glasgow, and it's went absolutely silent again. He's obviously not with the Rangers team in Tenerife.
No.
So I've not actually heard anything about what he's actually doing now, if he's training with the youth team or whatever. I honestly don't know.
No idea. That's the thing. So we just need to wait and see what happens there. Next bit of news here, we mentioned it before, but obviously the SFA charges that we were hit with over our statement on Willie Collum. Out of the 5 charges, we've only been found guilty of 2 of them, and we've been given a £6,000 fine in total. So £5,000 for remarks about the ref which impinge on his character. So in other words, calling him, you know, a cheater or a liar or whatever, and a £1,000 for the use of insulting words or behaviour. So more or less the same thing. The other charges of bringing the game into disrepute and observing principles of loyalty and integrity and sportsmanship were found not proven, and the SFA withdrawn one of the other charges as well, which doesn't even make sense if they brought the charge and then they withdraw it at the last minute. So, you know, once again, we wanted clarity on a situation. We wanted to try and help referees and other teams in the game, because we are fully aware that the SFA's processes are diabolical, and, you know, it's not defending what's happened, you know, obviously over the Morelos thing, but the process was daft, because it was only Morelos that were getting reviewed, as we've seen. And if the referee's seen an incident, then you can't really say anything about it. Where, you know, games that involve us are always going to have TVs around, TV cameras at them, so it's only going to be us. You're never going to get the same thing for a contentious decision at the bottom of the table in the second division, are you? So
no.
Next thing, Ibrox and Parkhead will finally be available in Pro Evolution Soccer 2019 in an update that's going to be out early this year. It was expected that we're going to be in the game from when the game was released. However, then it was announced that it was going to be in a later update. It was thought that update, it was going to be in the update towards the end of last year, but it wasn't, which left a lot of fans raging. So, but certainly the still shots they've looked at, that they've shown of it, Ibrox looks absolutely fantastic in it.
Oh, brilliant. Good stuff.
I'll probably still know by it, so.
No, my house is more or less a FIFA house, Derek. So I would have to wait to see if we got the game or not. But no, that's good, excellent.
Yep. And the next bit of news that's kind of slightly concerning for what the club are offering here. Rangers obviously have the ticket buyback scheme, so if you're a season ticket holder and can't make the game, you can give your ticket back to the club, and should the game be a sellout and they manage to sell your tickets on, you would get some of the money back for it in your basically your ticket account, or so we thought. The supporters liaison officer Greg Marshall implied before the Old Firm game that wasn't the case, because during the run up to the game he put out a tweet asking fans that can't make the game to use the buyback scheme, as the club are short on tickets requested by corporate sponsors, former pros and staff members. Now surely this is something that would have been sorted out prior to any general sale or season ticket sale, that the corporate sponsors have got their allocation, former pros have got their allocation. Now corporate sponsors are one thing, they pay the club for sponsorship. You expect them to get a certain allocation of tickets. However, former pros are basically given, comped tickets, free tickets to give to their friends and family, and even themselves go. So I find it incredulous that Rangers fans are being asked to use this buyback scheme for then basically the tickets not to get sold on so the club can make more money, but to give as a freebie to an ex-player.
Aye. It's a wee bit misleading, Derek, isn't it?
Absolutely. So I think there needs to be a bit more clarity in that. I mean, I used it when I think twice. Once the first season I had my season ticket, and once the second time, and I got money back. So it certainly worked that way. But it was only like a $5 each. But it knocked a wee bit of the money off the cost of the next year's season ticket. So. And the last piece of Rangers news I've got here is Gareth McAuley has been awarded an MBE for services to football in the Queen's New Year's Honours. So absolutely fantastic. Obviously a big privilege for the guy, a big honour.
Yep,
and
well done, yes.
I think there's about 5 or 6 players, and including Gerrard in our team, who have got Queen's Honours, which is incredible for the Queen's 11.
Fantastic, yes. So as you say, for the Queen's 11, that's excellent. No, congratulations to Gareth. Well done. All the Rangers fans out there are absolutely delighted for him.
Yep. So,
can I just say though, Derek, before we go, I just want to say a big thank you to one of the guys who follows us on Twitter, and we follow him, and that's Andy at Empire Andy, for resurrecting the "we didn't start the fires" thing on Twitter. It has given me the best laugh over the last few days. I realise it was maybe 2 days ago that he did it, but the responses that he's had have been absolutely hilarious. And obviously the last time it happened, Derek, it was more sort of centred on us with the banter years with sort of Sandazas and Kevin Kyles of the world. But if you get the chance, anybody, to go onto Twitter, go and check out some of the responses that he's had to this. It's Andy at Empire Andy on Twitter. It is honestly the best laugh that you will have. Some absolute belters in there, and one that I had to put in myself after, because I got the tune stuck in my head for about an hour solid this morning when I read it, Derek, and I had to put one in myself, which I'm quite proud of. So if you really get the chance, go and read it, because it's brilliant stuff.
Excellent. So that wraps up the podcast for this episode. Obviously, we've got a couple of weeks yet before the next game, so we'll be taking another break, even though we're just back. So hopefully out maybe before the Killie game, or just after.
Definitely.
We'll see what happens anyway. So.
Yep.
As ever, if you want to check us out, you can find all our links to all our social media sites at our website, which is ireadypodcast.wordpress.com. Obviously, we've got our Twitter page, which is at ireadypod. Our Facebook page is at facebook.com/ireadypod. We've got Instagram, YouTube. We're on iTunes, Spotify, and PodBean also. So, all I can say is thanks for listening and goodbye.
Yes, and all I can say is let's go Jermaine Defoe. Take care, folks.
Bye.
And the stadium erupts in red, white and blue. You've never seen anything like it.
Let's go.